Dr. Stone does one of the things that I love stories to do. It takes several well-known aspects of other narratives and melds them together into something almost completely new. While I'm not going to assume exactly what the narrative took inspiration from, I can see enough hints from other media that I've experienced coming into play. While the series could be described as having a post-apocalyptic setting, usually when that label is ascribed, there's still a level of technology that's to be expected. And, while apt, I'm not one to apply the isekai label to this series either, because although the stone world of the far future is truly another world that our protagonists now find themselves in, that's really as far as the isekai elements go, and other genres start to take a bit more prevalence. No, Dr. Stone is kind of its own mix. It's a survivor's tale about humans in a world without technology, but with the remembrance of the society that came before, with the drive, nay, the duty, to persevere in the face of the adversary ahead and build a new ideal society from what remains. But unfortunately, everybody has a different idea as to what an ideal society looks like and how to achieve it. The disagreements that arise from that are core of what this show is about so far. This video is brought to you by Crunchyroll. Visit the link in the description for a free 14-day trial of their premium service so you can keep up to date on the latest episodes of Dr. Stone if, after today, you find that the show might suit your fancy. This video is also brought to you by viewers like you via our Patreon campaign. For those of you who support Glass Reflection in this manner, thank you. A green light engulfs the whole planet, petrifying humanity into stone-like sculptures. Where did it come from? Who started it? None of that matters, as the result is over 3,000 years of an Earth without humanity, where the remains of human civilization rot away, letting nature return and take its course. But while humanity is frozen in stone, there are some of them who remain conscious through this. These are our protagonists. Senku, the genius who keeps himself mentally active by counting the seconds since the incident for all of those thousands of years. And Taiju, who was frozen mid-confession to the girl he loves, letting his passion keep him occupied, never letting his love leave his mind. Until, eventually, through some miraculous circumstances, they break free from the stone. Our protagonists awake to find a world far different than the one they left behind, one that now forces them to prioritize survival above all else. This leads them to spend months not only building the bare basics to stay alive in the wilderness, but also begin to develop a cure for the paralysis, so that others may too be free. But freeing people, despite being their goal, may also turn out to be their downfall, as Tsukasa, the strongest primate high schooler, not sure why that is his nickname, he's revived to save them from a group of lions, only for them to realize that Tsukasa has a different, more brutal idea of how society should be rebuilt, and he has the strength and physical prowess to make that ideal a reality. In Dr. Stone, there's literally no modern technology that's survived, at least not anything available to our protagonists. This is far less of something like Mad Max, and far more like a Japanese shonen take on Lord of the Flies, with BBC's Sherlock as one of the main characters, minus the insufferable ego. Senku, however, is still the character that's the hardest to pin down. While Taiju is designed to be stupidly easy to get a handle on given his simple nature, Senku is both a combination of the smartest human who has ever lived, while still proving to be fallible enough for the audience to not be left behind. He was able to count every second that passed while trapped in stone, and he is basically a human encyclopedia for survival and scientific techniques. But he still has moments when even the simple Taiju is able to point out the obvious things that Senku otherwise missed, like how to produce alcohol. For the purpose of the story, then, his intellect is actually really easy to measure, if a bit meta. If he needs to know something to progress the plot, he's an expert. But if not knowing something is instead beneficial to the plot, he becomes blissfully ignorant. Thankfully, because he doesn't have the same level of ego that other fictional geniuses do, he doesn't become grating in either situation. What the narrative is also playing up are the problems associated with both the major mindsets presented on how the groundwork for their future society is to be laid. Senku proceeds with his idealized mindset, where technology can save all and create a utopia out of the horrors of their past, while ignoring the problems of the society that once came before. Tsukasa, on the other hand, is instead a bit less idyllic and more realistic. He proceeds with the knowledge that there are those in humanity who would be grateful for being saved, but would eventually succumb to greed and malice to gain their own form of power, to the detriment of all. Unfortunately, his solution to that is to just kill all of the people he believes will ruin society before they even get a chance to recover from paralysis, something that Senku wholly objects to. What's interesting is that neither of them is necessarily wrong with the core of their mindsets, but they have wildly different thoughts on how best to implement their vision of an ideal society in this stone world. Senku is already dealing with the drawback in his plan to revive all of humanity now that Tsukasa is freed. Who's to say there won't be others that they revive that will agree with Tsukasa's mindset and leave to help him? It's 100 billion% probable if his plan is truly to revive everyone. So how does he avoid it? Stick to only reviving those he knows will agree with him beforehand? Seeing what he comes up with to deal with this problem will be exciting to see. But it's not just that question. The series, of course, does leave a lot of other questions up in the air. Where did the green light originally come from? Who created it? Why were only humans and some birds targeted, while pets and zoo animals were left alone? What allowed Senku and Taiju to wake up after all of those years? And almost more importantly, if they were able to wake up because of whatever circumstances, was there anyone else who woke up in the last 3 millennia? And where are they now? There is plenty of material to work with, both narrative-wise and manga-wise, with 113 chapters to adapt at time of writing, so TMS, the studio behind this anime, has quite a bit of breathing room. Though, what I find surprising is that with both Dr. Stone and the new Fruits Basket adaptation that they started to adapt last season, TMS is becoming a bit of a powerhouse this year for quality anime. Though, being perfectly honest, as someone who hasn't read the manga, I haven't yet seen exactly why Dr. Stone is as hyped as I've seen it be. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not denying its quality or its potential. It would be ludicrous to even try. But even as much as I have been enjoying myself, I must admit, I'm not as hyped for it as some other people have been. While entertaining, hugely entertaining, I am still waiting for that moment when the series will truly wow me. Though, as per usual, this is only my first reaction to the series, and perhaps things will turn out quite a bit differently from what I'm expecting. Thank you for joining me on this quick discussion. There will be streaming links down in the description for those of you who require it, as well as a link for a 14-day trial from our good friends over at Crunchyroll for their premium service if you find yourself in need of it. Let us know down in the comments what you have been following this season, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about it in a future video. A big thank you to all of my patrons who make these videos possible. I love and appreciate you all. And until next time, watch more anime and stay frosty.